him go.
Big dog.
Yeah,
Big
baby.
dog on the smallest rod in the boat. We knew that was gonna happen. So much cool stuff up there at that sandy key. You get that Everglades experience, man. That place has got huge flats on both sides of it that dump into this channel.
He's not done. Look at that. Look at him just mudding it up. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, man. Oh, look at him. He's right under the surface. Look at him. He's coming up. Oh, look at the size of him.
That thing is big.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah. Come on, come on. Oh, he ate it. He ate it. He ate it. Nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought you said you had to...
Got him, relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh, awesome. Look at that big boy. Woo.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
So one of my favorite places to go is out there towards Sandy Key. You know, I've had some good times out there, but this last trip was pretty epic.
Well, that's a very cool place because you get so much wildlife, so many birds, and so much cool stuff up there at that sandy key. And it's a place where it's just absolutely loaded with white pelicans, all kinds of other birds up there. You get that Everglades experience, man. That place has got huge flats on both sides of it that dump into this channel.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was cool. Is we, you know, we knew it. You know, it's in the winter here. It had been cool, but you know, as you well know, when it's been cold and it starts to warm up, those big flats start to warm up first, and that's one of the Sandy Key and the Cape and stuff are one of the first areas that the tarpon will show up when it starts to warm up.
We get up to Sandy Key Channel first thing in the morning, seeing the most beautiful sunrise ever. The Everglades, you're looking out across Florida Bay, and that morning.
Well, I'm glad we got up good
awesome.
that morning because we pulled into that channel. And sure enough, man, right away, saw a free jumper, big tarpon,
See
saw
a free
couple of them
jumper
roll.
on the way in. If you see one jump out of the water, man, there are a lot of them there.
That was a tarpon, right?
I think so.
That close, yeah.
We start throwing the lures. We also had brought some pilchards up there. So we're throwing the lures, but we don't have, you know, there's other ways to fish too. So quickly I cut a lure off of one of the rods, and it just happened to be the perfect rod for this. We got the new St. Croix rods. This was a Legend Inshore Extreme. It's the 10 to 20 pound rod, which is with a 50 size reel on it, is just about the perfect tarpon rod. And I found that out because we put a circle hook on there, put a pilchard on there, throw it out in front, still throwing the lures and everything, and it wasn't but a second, and I see that pilchard just start swimming around, the rod tips going like this.
Oh, there he is. Woo, what was that on, pilcher?
Yeah.
Oh, look at him go.
Big dog.
Woo, yeah,
Big
baby.
dog on the smallest rod in the boat. We knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, was that a pilcher?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, he liked that, didn't he?
Right on.
Sweet. Woo-hoo. That's awesome, dude. All right, I'm gonna go after him. What a bite, man.
God, man, I love the morning. Get out here and see these tarpon doing their thing first thing in the morning. I mean, I love this. God, I love it. It's just like everything's waking up, you know? Everything's waking up. We fight that fish for quite a while, and I was really super impressed with that rod. It was as big around as a pencil, but it had such a stiff backbone, such a stiff lower section that, man, I was able to put so much heat on that fish.
You were really working.
Gonna get a good jump out of him here in just a second, I bet. Feel him kicking. He's coming up. Here he goes.
Oh! That was a good one.
Here he goes again.
Oh,
do it again, do it again.
Crazy.
Man.
That's awesome, dude.
Awesome head shakes, man. That is one angry Everglades tarpon right there. If you're gonna go with a light rod, you need to go, if you can, with a heavier leader because the fight typically could be longer. But where I was mistaken was that wasn't a light rod. It looked like a light rod, it felt like a light rod, but man, that rod whipped him in record time.
Yeah, it's got a lot of backbone for a little rod.
This fish is right here by the boat. Here he comes. That's a big fish, man. That's a big one. Oh, another one right there by the channel edge, Rich. Here he goes. Nice. You know, like tarpon do. Tarpon are hard to land. They're difficult to land, and there's nobody out there that has 100% average, and no hook is perfect, and you know, they have an extremely hard mouth. So one of two things is gonna happen. You're either gonna wear through the leader, or you're gonna pull the hook, you know, and this time we get a few jumps here and there and get him very close to the boat, and the hook pulls. Oh! Came off.
Chafe off?
No, just hook pulled. Hook just came out. It's all right, man. Let's get another one.
Dude, that was awesome.
It's all right.
Oh, it was perfect, man. You got all you wanted out of him, and I mean, what an awesome way to start out the morning.
To me, that is the ultimate Florida Keys experience, man. The sun's coming up, the tarpon are rolling, you got a fish on before, you know, most people have their first cup of coffee. Awesome day. That was so,
Man, he gave me some serious,
Awesome.
serious jumps.
that was a big fish.
Oh, look at him. He's right under the surface. Look at him. He's coming up. Oh, look at the size of him.
That thing is
my
big.
Gosh.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay, the only key you'll need. By Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. By Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate. Motor Guide, accuracy matters. And by Plano, Buff, St. Croix Rods, and Quantum.
The coolest thing to me about that morning, it was so cool. The water was so low on both sides of the channel. There was just hundreds of birds on both sides. You know, the tarpon are rolling, we're catching that fish, the sun's coming up. Just an absolutely beautiful morning.
Nice.
That early morning tarpon bite started to slow down. You know, they stopped rolling as much, and the tide switched. You know, then the coolest thing about being where we were is there's so many other options.
Yeah.
You know, the tarpon they're in there. We figured the tarpon might be on the bottom. We know there's other big creatures that live in there, where it's big sharks. So we switched over to some dead bait, and it wasn't long before the shark showed up.
Right.
What do you think it is?
Good. Man, maybe a little shark or a bluefish. Possibly. Yep, another little shark. Nice. Look at that. On this little rod, that thing's perfect. That's perfect deal for a little kid. Come down to the Keys for the first time ever. Catch about 30 of these on a bonefish rod. Be all right there.
That's a cool looking fish here.
Great fish. You know, we start to catch these smaller sharks, and the sharks that come in immediately are, you know, 20 to 30 pounds. We're catching them on light rods. It's really fun, and I get pretty excited because I'm thinking, you know, man, my motto is action brings more action. So as we start catching a few of these smaller sharks, I know what's going to happen is it's going to start building up, and we're going to start catching more and more, or bigger and bigger. Does that feel like?
Really big. We're gonna chase it.
Okay.
Very large critter.
One of the things that is kind of fun in a place like that where the water's muddy and you're in the Everglades, there's a lot of different species that it could be. You know, it's kind of like, you know, what do you think it is? Let's venture a guess on what it is. And sometimes it's a guess, and sometimes it's, you know, what you're seeing is based upon, you know, other things. Like, okay, I know that if it's a tarpon, it's probably going to run real fast and jump, or it's probably the line's going to start rising up in the water. So that didn't happen. What do you think?
I don't know.
No predictions? Come on, man.
Big shark, I guess. But we've caught Goliath here before.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. In these channels, you just have no idea what you're gonna hook into.
So it's like, okay, well, it kind of pulls, then it starts moving off. Well, a stingray could do that, a nurse shark could do that, but this moved a little faster.
I mean,
Head shaker.
it could be a tarpon. You never know. I mean, it's not running fast enough to where I think it was a tarpon, but certainly they're all in here. A lot of big creatures.
you know, this fish is pulling us all over the place, and we're chasing him, and by this time the water had risen up over the flats, and it was kind of dark and murky, but he got out of that deep channel and was up on the flat, and I see his big back come out of the water, and I see body. Oh, big Goliath! Giant Goliath!
Nice.
You were right, dude!
Nice.
Dude, you were totally right. Good call.
Good job. We got any gloves on this boat?
Look at that thing! How about that? And not a little Goliath either.
No, that's a monster.
Look at him, he's up on the flat here, that's so wicked. The fins on his back, I mean,
that was the best part about as he gets shallower and shallower, and then finally, you just see that dorsal, the whole dorsal region of that fish kind of pull up and gets about this high out of the water, and we both knew immediately Goliath grouper. Okay.
I thought I had him done. He's not done. Look at that. Look at him just mudding it up. Look, I'm rolling him over like a tarpon. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, man. It seems so strange to be catching a Goliath that big in 2 feet of water. Golly. It was awesome, and not just any Goliath, but a monster. And I mean, unquestionably the biggest, probably the biggest I've ever caught, and certainly the biggest in shallow water. And I'm fighting him on this little tarpon rod. I mean, this was this Avid rod that was it was probably a 20-pound class rod, and that's a giant. And he was up so shallow that he's just pushing mud everywhere and just making a mess of everything. Just really cool to catch a fish that big on a rod that small. How big is that thing?
It's a good one.
I guess they look bigger in shallow water.
This water's gonna clear up
Look
here.
at that giant fish.
Man, it's only foot and a half deep right here.
I know. Why don't you get out and take a picture of him? I'll hold him in the water and I'll get a picture of you with him.
Yeah, I don't mind getting in the water with a Goliath, just not next to that channel right there.
There might be something that wants to eat this thing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's another lesson
Look at
for
that
life
big boy.
from fishing. There's always somebody out there that's bigger, stronger, faster, hungrier, more aggressive than you. Wow. Look at the green.
Oh, there he goes.
That was cool, though. Did you see the green on his dorsal fins? That was really cool.
How about that?
Well, that might have been better. He probably didn't want to tangle with me anyway. Or maybe it's the other way around.
Look at that giant fish.
It's a good one.
I guess they look bigger in shallow water. Well, it was cool, man. Got him up next to the boat, got a good look at him, got him to roll over a couple times, see the size of that fish, and then finally he just wears through the leader, and just really cool. I mean, unique experience there, and we figured, hey, let's go back to this spot and see what else we can catch.
Well, you had it marked on the Lawrence, and we get back exactly on that same spot. It wasn't 30 seconds. We put a bait out there, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, another Goliath.
Big bite. It felt very similar. I don't know what this is. This doesn't feel that big.
Feels like a sponge fish.
I don't know.
It's moving,
It's just
right?
swimming, yeah. It's actually swimming fast upstream. Fast. Wow.
And that way now. We're gonna see it. Come on. What is it?
Back.
What's the wager this time?
I don't know. Big.
Big?
Fast.
Big and fast?
Gotta be a.
Need to pull in these other lines or what?
Yeah, we're gonna have to chase this. Get these other lines on the bottom.
I saw that thing. It just bent double. And
I'm guessing. Black tip, maybe he's going to swim
black
around.
tip? No.
I don't know. He's going back and forth fast.
No, not a black tip. That's gonna be
What do you think?
Goliath.
Yeah.
I want to say Goliath.
Really?
Sawfish, maybe.
Too fast for any of those.
How about nurse shark?
Too fast. I don't know. Just got
I'm
heavy.
going Goliath.
All right. Well, whatever it is, he's got bigger, heavier. Wow. And head shaky. Wow. Maybe it is a Goliath. It's moving a little bit differently, but I really did. I thought it was another Goliath, on that same rod, that same light rod, and luckily this fish also gets up on the flat, up in shallower water, eventually. So we're, I start to see the leader. I'm like, all right.
When we start thinking the same kind of thing, is it a Goliath? I'm thinking it's a nurse shark because of what it did. It kind of just fought a little different than the Goliath.
It's got to be another Goliath. It's got to be. I'd be very surprised at almost anything else except a sawfish. I don't have enough experience with a sawfish to know what that does. And we had just done this, so it wasn't like, I remember 2 weeks ago, this is what it felt like. It would just happened. So I'm gonna go with something else. And you're thinking, man, I'm gonna go with a Goliath. I said,
I thought it might have been a tarpon at one point. He's running kind of quick, and I've caught big tarpon where they didn't jump. So really was not sure what it was, and all of a sudden, oh, look at that, sawfish!
Sawfish.
Oh my gosh, did you see that big saw?
That's crazy. That's what I was thinking, man. We got the monster slam.
Did you see that bill?
I've never caught a big one of these. I don't have any idea how to handle it.
I've hooked a couple, but I've never landed one. Wow. Unbelievable.
This is cool, man. This is the first one of these that I've had this close.
It's a giant sawfish, which is something that I've seen them, but I've really never caught a giant one like that. We've accidentally caught some small ones in the back before, but this was a full-grown big fish.
Oh, look at him! He's right under the surface. Look at him! He's coming up. Oh, look at the size of him!
That thing is big.
Oh my gosh! Can you believe how big that thing is?
That's awesome, man. I have never been able to hold on to one of the big ones like that. I don't know if I want to, now that I see him.
Dude, that thing is humongous.
How long do you think it is?
I have no idea. He's really big.
24-foot boat.
He's coming up to the surface right here. Look at him. Oh man, look at that big guy.
That is super cool. Super cool. And it looks like the hook is underneath his bill. I don't know how I'm gonna get that, but I'll try.
Wow. That is crazy, man. Look at that. He's got remors on him. Wow. Wow, he's huge. Wow.
In a saltwater environment, if it can get corroded, it will. I have had so many great rain jackets where the rain jacket's perfect for years, but the zipper corrodes, it breaks. It happens on rain jackets, it happens on everything that has a zipper, and it happens on tackle bags. But Plano has come out with a new Z-Series tackle bag that solved this problem, not by creating a better zipper or one that doesn't corrode as badly, but by creating a bag that has absolutely no metal parts at all, no zippers at all, just some clips and a very, very simple bag. This is a 3700 series, so it's gonna hold the 3700 size box that I like, and it's gonna have 5 or 6 of those boxes in there, a couple outside pockets, and a pocket in the back, and a carry bag. This is an excellent bag. It has 0 zippers on it, so that it'll last you forever. It also comes in a backpack model, so you can throw this right on your back. If you're fishing on the beach or whatever, you can carry this a little bit easier. But this 3700 Z-Series zipperless tackle bag is my favorite new bag for 2017.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Yeti, built for the wild. Mercury Marine, go boldly. Hook, performance fishing. Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. And by Costa, Power Pole, Ameritrail, B&W Trailer Hitches, and Live Water Sports.
Hey, you want to see more saltwater experience? Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and don't forget to check us out on Waypoint TV. You can watch full-length episodes anytime.
That is so cool. What a cool fish. He's kind of like half like a ray. Yeah, that's what he is, man. He is half a ray. Half ray, half shark, basically.
Look at that. You get a whole look at him there now.
Wow. Look at his little eyes for a fish that size now. I'm supposed to grab that bill? Look at the teeth on that
Be careful. Don't hurt him or you.
I don't want to hurt him for sure. Look at that.
Wow, that's a lot of fish.
Look at that thing, man. That is a thrashing weed eater of a fish. Like he just goes into the schools of fish and just shakes his head like that. And
Careful, that's gonna break.
I'll do the best I can. Look at those teeth, man. Holy moly. Have you ever seen one of these things come up like this next to the boat, like in a mullet mud or anything?
No.
And they just start shaking that bill?
Man, that looks dangerous, doesn't it? Crazy.
I really don't know what to do here.
Well, I'd say we unwrap for starters.
That's what I'm trying to do.
And that was a pretty unique day. I mean, just monster fish on that channel, from the black tips to the tarpon to the Goliaths and the unimaginable sawfish that came up there. I mean, just one big fish after the other.
That's the monster slam. That's the Florida Keys monster slam right there.
Those look just like shark teeth, don't they?
Yeah. Okay, I got another wrap. Another wrap.
Oh, there he goes.
That's
All right.
I just knew he was just like one shake away. That's the coolest thing, man. That is the coolest thing, and think about that.
Yeah.
This dirty water, man, the things that lurk below.
Wow.
That's scary, man.
Talk about good fishing, huh?
Yeah. The monster slam.